Hi, you guys. Today we're going to read another book by Yuyi Morales, and it's called Dreamers. But first, I want to talk to you a little bit more about immigration. So, I'm going to remind you that in November, we did our project-based learning project, and we learned the definitions of the words immigrant and immigration, and we talked about reasons why immigrants might move from their home countries to new different countries where they don't even know the language. And I'm going to remind you of the anchor charts that we made. So we said an immigrant is a person who moves to a new country from somewhere else. Immigration is when people move to new countries from somewhere else. We also, you guys gave me some great ideas for why people might move away from their home countries to live in new countries. Wynn said they might want a new president. Sadu said they might want a new house somewhere. Elias said there might not be that much stuff in their country. Kellen said maybe because of the weather. Ray said maybe they want to try new foods. Ethan said maybe they don't like the town because they don't have that much money, so maybe they're not able to make money in the country that they're living in then. And then I said maybe there's a war in their country or they might not feel safe and would feel more safe in a new country. So there are so many reasons why people might move from their countries to a new country. We also read the book All Are Welcome and thought about how we could welcome people from different countries into our country and make them feel comfortable and safe. So this book is about Yuyi Morales' story because she came from Mexico. She's an immigrant. She came to the United States from Mexico with her baby, her son, and this tells her story, okay? So let's read her book, Dreamers. And this book is pretty cool because when you open it like this, you can see on the back cover and the front cover, they kind of flow together. And this book won an award. It won the Pura Beltre Award. Dreamers by Yuyi Morales. I dreamed of you, then you appeared. Together we became amor, love, amor. Resplendent life, you and I. One day we bundled gifts into our backpack and crossed a bridge outstretched like the universe. Adios, corazón. So here are the things that they took with them. So this bridge is representing how they moved from Mexico to the United States. And look, there are monarch butterflies that also, remember, they migrate from the United States to Mexico and then back. And when we made it to the other side, thirsty, in awe, unable to go back, we became immigrants. Migrantes, you and I. The sky and the land welcomed us in words unlike those of our ancestors. So she's saying that they didn't know the language in the United States. They didn't know English. So here it says, say something. What? Speak English. Well, she didn't know English, right? So she couldn't speak English. So it was hard for her to understand other people at first. There were so many things we didn't know. Unable to understand and afraid to speak, we made lots of mistakes. Here it says, someone's talking to her in English on the phone. She's saying, I, but she can't understand. And then here she couldn't figure out the map. They moved to San Francisco, so she couldn't figure out the maps in San Francisco. And then also they were playing in a water fountain and they didn't know that they couldn't, so the police came. You and I became caminantes. Thousands and thousands of steps we took around this land until the day we found a place we had never seen before. Suspicious, improbable. So think about what place this is she's talking about. The library. I hope that you're noticing all of the monarch butterflies on every page that are kind of migrating with them and traveling with them. Unbelievable. Surprising. Wow, it looks like she's really loving this library and it's very special to her. Look at all of these books. Unimaginable. So it's looking like they're using picture books to understand maybe the English language. I know that she learned English through picture books. Yuyi Morales did. And look, they're using their imagination. And it seems like a really happy experience. There's Señor Calavera from the other books that she wrote, just in case, in just a minute. Where we didn't need to speak, we only needed to trust. And we did. So here's the librarian providing them with more and more picture books. Books became our language. Books became our home. Books became our lives. We learned to read, to speak, to write, and to make our voices heard. Someday we will become something we haven't even yet imagined. But right now, we are stories. We are two languages. We are lucha, that means fight. We are resilience. We are hope. We are dreams, soñadores. Oh, we are dreamers, soñadores of the world. We are love, amor, love. So here is Yuyi's story. At the end, she included her own story of her life. So she said, this story began in 1994 when I crossed a bridge with my 2-month-old son, Kelly, from Ciudad Juarez, Mexico, to El Paso, Texas. And though I didn't know it at the time, to a new life in a strange and unfamiliar place, the United States of America. Once here, I was surprised by the quietness of the streets, the houses neatly lined up along the roads. I had come so that my son could meet his great-grandfather, Ernie, who was very ill and not expected to live much longer, and to marry Kelly's father, a U.S. citizen. I wanted to return to Mexico soon afterward, but was shocked to learn that because of U.S. immigration rules and my new status as a permanent resident, I was now expected to stay in the United States. I had become an immigrant. But could I possibly call this new place my home? Like most immigrants, I missed things that felt familiar. My family, the food, my friends, my job as a swimming coach, and my ability to communicate, to understand and to be understood. In this place where I did not speak the language, it was as if no one seemed to notice I existed, as if my words and actions didn't count. In those first days, I constantly wondered if I could ever find a place where I felt valued. But then they were taken to the public library, and it was spectacular. She'd never seen a place where you could just take books from the shelves without asking, and there were picture books. She says, something I had not encountered before. I couldn't believe how beautiful and sturdy they were. She was amazed at the power of their illustrations. She said, "One of the most important things I learned at the library is that through books we can find our path and our purpose. I also learned that I love to tell stories and that I could tell them through books. I studied the books I admired so much and became determined to make my own." So that's how she got started as an author and illustrator. So it says here, "We enter a new country carried by hopes and dreams and carrying our own special gifts to build a better future. Dreamers and dreamers of the world, migrantes soñadores. Now I've told you my story. What's yours?" Juji. Wow, so there she is. The end. Right, so she did not feel welcome or comfortable at first, so let's continue to think about how we can make sure that people who are new to our country feel safe and welcomed and loved. And I hope you have a great day today. Bye.